Today we have a redstone door that uses both the slimes and the honey blocks combined to make a super epic, long, gigantic redstone door, which wasn't possible before. So here we are inside of Minecraft, and this is what we are going to be building today. This awesome sort of like teeth-like door that uses both slime and honey to operate. Come on, open. You can see it sort of go here. Let me make a redstone line over here so you can see this a little better. Okay, a much better view of this. There we go. Now you see the magic that is this like teeth door. And I could totally see some of this being hidden, some of this being like in a bigger structure. You could make a crazy sort of statue that has its teeth open on command. I can see all sorts of stuff with this, and I really like it. I also like that you can make this as long as you want. Like, this could be, well, I guess you may run into some issues with timing when it comes to some of the redstone line up here, but this can be a very wide door, which doesn't really happen a whole lot with redstone doors. So I really like the size of this door also. Back here, just to show you a little bit of the redstone that we will be making, there'll be a triple piston extender, and we'll use slime on the top and honey on the bottom. Then this is sort of the, when I open it up here, this is going to be what you see when the door is open. This is sort of the exposed stuff. These can be any type of immovable block. They don't have to be obsidian, but they do have to be immovable. So you could use glazed terracotta if you want in your build to make that blend in a bit, and you get a little bit of exposed slime and honey in this build. The redstone really isn't all that complicated, so you'll be easily able to follow along with everything. So let's get started. First off, the blocks that you will be needing to complete this build include sticky pistons, a whole bunch of those, some slime blocks, and then also honey blocks, redstone repeaters, redstone dust, some type of slab, doesn't have to be smooth stone, any type of building material, and that's going to be the red wool and my iron blocks, and some type of immovable block. That could be glazed terracotta, that could be obsidian. I'm going to use pink glazed terracotta in the build. And then just to activate the door mechanism, like the switch on and off, you might need a switch, you might need a redstone torch. You actually don't need a redstone torch in the building of the actual door itself. So let's get started. We are going to start by building just the frame of the door. That way we kind of know where we're going to be building and can kind of place this in our world. So on the 7th block up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that is where we are going to start to build our frame out. And you can really decide, basically, as long as it's not any more than, say, 16 blocks, you're going to be fine. You can build any of these modules that bring the teeth up or down. You can build those in an odd number. So really just build until you're happy. If you want to get really precise about it, try to build in groups of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do one more 4. And then an extra for the border. Then build your frame 3 up and then just all the way across. So with one extra. So you're going to have an empty space of 3 blocks in the middle there for your teeth. We can destroy all that. Now we just have a floating frame to start off with. Now I like to kind of set down the teeth. So here, actually, let's switch from red to a new color. Let's do gray here for the teeth. And the bottom ones I'm going to do in gray, and then maybe the top ones I'll do in black. And we'll just make this almost like a carnival style build here. And so all I'm doing is leaving an open space and then building down 3 off the side of my frame. You're going to do the same thing on the upper side. You could wait if you wanted to do the upper side in a little while, but we're just going to go ahead and add these teeth just to kind of know where our build is going to be aiming for. And then that is what my teeth are going to kind of look like. This almost none of people watching this are going to remember this, but was it All Monsters? Oh my gosh, on Nickelodeon. This kind of reminds me a lot of that. Okay, so now that we have that, let's switch to our honey block. You can really decide if you want the bottom or top to be honey or slime. It doesn't really matter. In fact, you may want the bottom to be slime because you're going to be walking on that, and honey may slow you down a little bit extra. So we're going to build off of the side of our teeth. We're going to do the 3 for the teeth. We're going to come down 2 extra and then come across 3, just like this. I lied, just like this, where we come across an extra 2 so that the bottom has 3. So we're gonna go once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an extra 2 over so that we have 3 at the bottom, not adding an additional 3. That was silly of me. So now you have an itty bitty choice to make, and that is to build with all immovable blocks, just keeps things simple, or some immovable blocks and just normal blocks as well. I'm going to show you what I mean, and that is that a block right here and right here have to be immovable, and a block here have to be immovable. Then we're going to build over here this direction, and that's a temporary block, real block, or real block, and we can destroy our temporary blocks. So then you can build these out of any block that you want, and then same thing over here. That was a temporary block. You can build that out of any block that you want. And let me just destroy this slime here so you can kind of get a better look at it. And there you go. So that is what we are going to be building. That is part of the tooth. Immovable, 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 movable. That's just because these immovable come across the slime and they can't move. I'm going to build from now on with just fully immovable blocks, just so that all the blocks are kind of the same. But this is just a frame that you need to build inside of the slime. Now, you only need to do this on every other slime, basically, every other hole that you have. So over here, we will do immovable, immovable. I'm going to put temporary as black wool just to put down some more blocks. Here, and here, and then we're gonna break that out. On the other side, there's going to be a temporary block here. It goes there, and one above it, just like so. And actually, this one above it, you may have to break to put down a repeater a little bit later on. But that is sort of the block formation for these bottom pieces of redstone. And what's going to happen is this, like, say, this trough of redstone is going to power both sides. That's why you need to just do them every other version of that. So go ahead and continue building until you're all finished. Okie dokie, now that you're done, remember we are looking sort of at the back of this door. I like to consider the front of the door being where you walk in. So back to the back. We are going to add our redstone, and the redstone is going to be oriented from front to back, so in this direction. First, start off with a piece of redstone dust on that little shelf that we have. Like I said, so break that, and then go ahead and put down a redstone repeater and add an extra tick of delay, and then you can add your glazed terracotta back. Then we're going to, on the front of that repeater, add another piece of redstone dust, then another repeater with an extra tick of delay, and then right underneath that, down there, put another dollop of redstone. So I'll just repeat that just so you can see it all done. Redstone dust, break that block temporarily, put down the repeater, add a tick delay, put the block back in place, add a piece of redstone dust to the front of that repeater, add another repeater with another piece of delay, and a redstone dust on the bottom. And then just do that for as many teeth as you have, and I only have one more to do. And now you're basically done with the redstone until we move on to linking all of the pieces up to actually open and close doors. So we can move on to the next step, which is the top of the teeth, and we are going to switch to honey blocks now, which is kind of the big deal about this, is that you can have two things of teeth and the two types of blocks don't get stuck together. We are going to build the sort of tooth mechanism just like we did on the bottom side, where we go up 5 and then over 2 to create a 5x3 sort of platform to build with. Same sort of situation as below. You'll only need to build your redstone once per trough. So you'll only need to do 3 things of redstone for all 6 teeth that we have here. Here is the situation. Once again, same decision you have to make. If you happen to have a lot of immovable blocks, go ahead and use all of them. Use all this as build as immovable. But if you are low on immovable blocks, here are the only blocks that need to be immovable. One here, a temporary one here, and a block below, just like that. And then the other blocks that you could build yourself are a temporary here. Actually, let me do, I like showing you the temporary blocks. And then you'd have to like destroy this block here, another temporary over here, and then right there. There we go. So we have immovable and then non-immovable. And on this side, we're gonna put down a temporary block, which is the same color as, wait a second. Temporary blocks have moved to yellow. Yellow blocks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that would be a temporary block. Below would be a real block, and above a real block. So if you are trying to save your immovable blocks, those are the only ones that the ones in pink need to be immovable. The ones that are iron can be any type of block at all, but moving forward, we're just going to build with immovable blocks. What I'll actually suggest that you do is start off with these 3 immovable blocks. And remember, you get to skip. So we're gonna put down one temporary and 1, just like that. Skip a thing, 1 temporary, and there you go. We're gonna go start with that because the next set of blocks kind of, you need stuff to be there before you build it. So what we're gonna do is on either ledge, on either side, we're gonna put down a repeater with an extra tick of delay. So we're gonna slap that thing 1 extra time. And then on the front, you can add the next set of blocks, and you can actually, if you hit the front of that repeater, you can place a block directly ahead without needing to put down a temporary block. And then you can put another block directly on that repeater as long as you are shifting, as long as you are sneaking, then you can put one directly on top of it. Then over here, you have, this is the front of the build, by the way, and we were just over here before. You are going to place a block below the solid block or down here, and then up against that repeater, just like that. And place a piece of redstone dust underneath or in between those 2 blocks, and then on the very end right there. So that repeater is going to fire in and turn on that redstone for us. Okay, I'm just going to repeat myself, placing a block on the front, placing a block on top. Because I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and put the redstone dust right there. Then a block below and a block above and redstone dust in the middle. And then continue that for all of your teeth. Now you need to add your pistons, and they need to be firing down. So I find that the best way to do this is that top block on the top, get below it, and then place your piston down. And then you can use that piston to place the rest of your pistons down. And you just need 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And do that for all of your teeth. And remember, if for some reason you built an odd number of teeth, you can just build this module off to the side. Like this tooth right here could not exist, basically. And you just build this where it is. And that would be the last tooth in the line. And it's not a big deal at all. So let's go ahead and power this. We are going to start off by sort of adding a lane for our redstone to go down. And you're going to need to put a repeater in front of each block that has this redstone dollop on the bottom. And then we'll do the top in just a moment. And so once you have that repeater, then obviously you're going to need the redstone to come this direction. And so we're just going to have this run past all, oh my gosh, come on, past all of these repeaters and add the redstone dust so that it all hooks up. So now we need to go vertical. So in order to do that, I'm going to build a little bit further away from this border here. We're going to go up 1 block, And then we need to switch into slabs. And the way to do that is here. This is a temporary. And we're going to go into slab mode, just like that. And the slab needs to be at the top of the block so that you can put some redstone there, and there, and they'll all connect. Now it's time to go up into slab world. And the way that I like to do this is I will build a, actually I should show you that this is all temporary. Actually, I'm gonna do this temporary out of iron because it's gonna be much easier to see the block. Like this is a block, that's, you know, an easy border on the block. So you're gonna come up on your slab 1.5. So you're gonna leave 1 full block and a half block in there. And then you're gonna place your slab on the top of that block, just like so. I'm gonna build 1 extra. I can't remember exactly how tall this needs to be, so we're just gonna add that there. I may destroy that later. So now that we're done with that side, we're gonna come over here and build another temporary block there, and then we're gonna build up, whoops, I didn't mean to jump and fall, all the way up to the top. And this block will need to be in the middle of these two. So we had 1.5. Well, in the middle, that would be right there. But then you can use the exact same thing you were doing before, where 1.5 is what you leave. And so you can see that easily, 1.5 blocks. And build all the way up. I think that is way too tall. I may destroy those blocks once I get up there and see it all. And now we can add redstone to all of this. And that is the perfect size for a vertical redstone situation. Over here, we're going to need to power this block. So we're going to place a block right there in front. And I'm going to just kind of make this all the way out here. And there we go. So now I know that this is the height that I need that to be at. So that I overbuilt and that I overbuilt. Now, whoa, I'm falling. We're going to place the redstone here. We're going to put a repeater there because this will be pretty useless by the time it gets all the way up there because the redstone line will have depleted so much. And we're going to create our line all the way out. And we're going to put down a repeater right there. So you should keep in mind how much of a delay has been added to both sides. So right here we have a tick delay, and here we have a second tick delay. If we're going down the line, all of these are just 1, and then we add another 1 right here. So we're at 2 ticks delay. So in order to make these match up, this is at a tick delay, but there is no extra repeater right here. So either we can set these at 2 ticks delay if we know all 3 of those at 2 ticks delay, if we know that the redstone line coming in is going to be powerful enough to get all the way over there. But you could also just add an extra repeater right here just to make all the timing work out perfectly. Now you can just go ahead and test your build here. And we're just going to grab a lever in order to do that. We're going to slap it right there. It'll turn on that line. It'll go up, turn on all that. And uh-oh, something's wrong down here. What do we do? Oh, we didn't add the pistons. Oh my gosh, I'm so silly. There's pistons missing. Okay, well that was silly. Make sure that you add your pistons to the bottom here. They're right here in my top slot. And all you have to do is face them upwards. And we're gonna turn off this redstone so it doesn't bother with us. Oh my gosh, how silly am I? So pistons there and there. There you go. All 3 pistons in a nice, neat, orderly row. And just like with up top, I like to set them on this block right here and then go back afterwards and use the piston itself as a way to make sure that it's pointing upwards completely. And then over here, when you have 2, it's like super simple because you just do 1 on one side and 1 on the other. Okay, second time's a charm. Let's try it. There we go. It works perfectly. It looks like timing is all correct. I love it. Looks really, really, really good. So some things to note if you're trying to fill this in and to, create a corridor or create anything like that. You do need to put some type of a movable block right next to all of these slime things. So here we're going to switch to obsidian just because I think it looks a little bit better. And so we're going to put obsidian next to all of these slime faces or the honey faces on the top as well. So every single face those can't be any type of block. And also over here, it's good to make sure to plant one here. And that is going to extend all the way up. So it's going to go up 1, 2, 3. So that all needs to be obsidian as well. So let's just make sure, whoops, to cover every single one of these. And this one is the same situation as on the other side. It's going to go down 1, 2, 3. So there we go. The other thing to notice is that there is this extra little bit of piston or stickiness here because you need 3 pistons to make it go down 3. So you need to add an extra bit here. Let me make this a little bit easier to see what's going on here because that is a dark obsidian on a dark situation. We will just need to add an extra bit of obsidian to the back of this in order to make sure that when that comes all the way up, it's not going to grab any extra block there and be at our block limit for us. So we're just going to add an extra little tooth of obsidian there. I've said teeth and tooth so much during this entire situation. All of this can be any type of block that you want now. I'm going really for a carnival feel here. I really feel the carnival atmosphere. And then over here, we can do the same thing with just whatever type of block we want in between that immovable block. And then we can create a wall if we want as well. There we go. And now we have our door just about completely finished. Just over here on the other door, I did something that I liked, which was to make sure to invert the redstone signal as it's coming into all of this, just so that it will always be closed until a redstone signal appears and then it will open. That's what I was mentioning with this redstone torch way in the beginning of this video, is that if you leave an open block and place a torch right there, then it will stay closed until you turn on the redstone signal to open it. And remember, in order to turn on and off a torch, it needs to be sitting on that block. Most of you guys know that. So we're just going to extend this line out. We could add as much redstone as we want. We can snake this to anywhere that we want our lever to be. If it gets too long, we could throw an extra repeater in there and continue on our line. That won't add any weird timing to any of it because it's all before we get to where the 2 redstone signals split off, and then we can put down our lever. So this could be really anywhere in your world as long as you leave enough repeaters to continue the redstone signal. And there we go. We're so far away, we can't even... Oh, whoa, I totally messed it up. Don't worry. If you mess it up, just turn it on, turn it off again. Everything will work itself out. And we're so far away that we can't even hear all the pistons firing, but it looks super duper awesome. I absolutely love this build. Big thanks to Joa Bro on Reddit for creating this redstone contraption. There's a link in the description to the post that I saw on Reddit describing it and showing how to build it. Absolutely love it. Big thanks to you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights, and let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. I'll see you next time. Bye.